is saying.
Recording in progress.
Oh, shoot.
Recording in progress.
Oh, Lord, I got so much open. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How you doing? Give me 1 second. I'm working on a new software, and so I'm having to play around to make sure. And we're waiting on some more people to join.
Okay.
Several other people RSVP'd, so let's just give them some time to get on. Let's see here. I have so much going on. Okay, hey guys. If you're not logged in directly to the Zoom, then you're gonna have to type in your questions. It's best if you could click the link that was in that post from yesterday so that you can actually interact on video. And y'all have to forgive me. I am trying to figure out this new program that I'm working on. So let's see here. Host video order. Okay, so I'm gonna do gallery. So I'm waiting on you guys to log in to the Zoom. I don't have the information right in front of me. Let's see if I can pull it up for you guys. Excuse me. Yeah, the only thing I have is the link to register. Copy link address. I cannot. Then you're gonna have to type in your question, Miss PJ. But here's the link. Oh, there you are. Okay. Oh my God, I have. Oh, okay. So I can see the comments here, so I don't have to be in the group. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I got so much going on. I'm gonna show y'all this screen that I have. Y'all gonna be like, what in the world? Let me see. How do I do it? Screen share.
Goodness gracious, Courtney. I can't.
Well, you made it.
I see, I did.
I'm waiting on some other people to join. I had
Okay.
several RSVPs. So let's see. This is screen share. And I'm trying to work this. Okay, share screen. Let me see. I really don't know how to do this. Let's see. Video file. Okay, Tina just logged in. Okay, so is the only thing you guys see is just me? You don't see a screen or anything, just me?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So this program promises that I can, not for you guys, not for this meeting, but I want to start going live more often on my other platforms. And this program will allow me to do that all at once. So I can go on Instagram Live, my YouTube, and my free group live at one time. So kind of excited about that. So, welcome everybody to Cocktails and Contracts. It's the first Wednesday of the month. It's been a whole month since the last time we met, so I'm anxious to see what you guys have got going on. When this meeting is over, I would love it if you all could put in the group, you know, what you guys want training on, in particular. And that way I can have a month to kind of prepare that so that we're getting more out of these meetings. And we kind of know what to expect going forward with regards to what we're going to cover in the meeting. Does that sound good to you guys? I feel like you guys will be able to get more out of that, but let me know if not.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, good. Oh, see, I knew it. So I'm looking at the comments and it only shows up as Facebook user. So I do kind of have to look at the Facebook group to kind of see what's going on. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we're going to go around the room and kind of, tell me your good, bad, and ugly from the last 30 days. Kind of, what you've been working on, where you've been stuck at, if anything. And anything that you want to report that's good news. It can be on the personal front or it can be, business wise. So I'm going to start with Shardavia since she's first on my screen.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
Hi, I'm Shardavia. I'll start with some good. I did finally get my first client as a transaction coordinator. It is someone.
Wait. Hold on. You finally say that one more time.
I got my first transaction as a transaction coordinator.
Oh, Lord, that's too low. That's lower than I thought it was gonna. Wait. Okay, say it one more time.
I said I got my first client as a transaction coordinator.
Congratulations.
The client is my godmom, who is also a realtor. We work within the same firm.
Okay.
And this practice for me. It's funny because I took your class last year in July, and I have this whole like 5-6 pages of notes. And then I went back and took the class again. I have a whole new set of notes that's different from.
Because when you first took it, were you licensed yet?
No, I wasn't.
Right.
And then when I became licensed, I learned more of the terminology, and I understood more of what you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And then I was kind of just assisting my godmom on her client. So then I learned a little bit more. Now as a transaction coordinator, I know a lot more. Some struggles that I'm working with right now was just trying to find my system. I did do a free trial with TC Docs, but when I did the free trial, I didn't have a client yet. So it's a lot of information that I didn't know to input then. And then I also tried Easy Coordinator now. So I'm just trying to see which system I like. And then I'm also still working on a landing page. But I do have a little signature for my email with my domain name and everything.
Good.
So with the transaction, I think one of the scariest parts for me was I had to do an A tag. But once I did it, I was like, oh, this is not bad at all. So
I'm going to tell you, I don't do ATAX anymore.
And I remember you saying that.
And I'm very capable. Like I know how to write some ATAX and they don't have to be super specific. I get it. But number one, in order to scale my business, so like now I have another TC under me. And as I grow, I need to have a repeatable, scalable process so that I can train whoever's coming behind me. And people that are coming behind me or working for me may not be licensed, number one. So everybody won't be able to do that. And it's just too much liability. It's not specific enough of a task for me to be able to do it. And then also when I was doing it, my clients would just send me the ATAC and say, okay, well, they want, 5, 6, and 7. Like I would normally like for them to highlight the stuff, but even if they highlight the stuff that they want, that takes a lot of energy. And sometimes it's not a PDF that you can copy and paste. So sometimes you got to type it. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Like they can do one thing. And because also the ATAC is typically submitted against the clock, because you got to get that ATAC in prior to the end of due diligence. The due diligence period is the time frame in which the buyer has the most leverage because they can terminate for any reason or no reason at all. So that is why, and this is only in Georgia. So if you're not in Georgia, I think Georgia, as far as I've learned, Georgia is the only state that I've seen and that I've worked with that has a due diligence. Everybody else has either an inspection period or they may have a due diligence, but the buyer has to pay for it. It's called an option fee, and they have to pay like a couple $100s for the right to have due diligence. But Georgia is the only place that I know of that has due diligence, like without paying an option fee or anything like that. So anyway, it's a very important time frame for the buyer, because if they want repairs done, hold on, let me let this person in. If they want repairs done, so the ATAC that she's talking about is short for Amendment to Address Concerns. And this amendment is done typically after the inspection, and we take the buyer and the buyer's agent go over the inspection report, and they may have some items that they want the seller to take care of. Sometimes here lately, like the items on the inspection report aren't necessarily deal breakers, but sometimes they are. Like if the inspection report says that there is mold, the buyer wants that taken care of. Now, if you don't get that amendment to address concerns in and executed and signed before the end of due diligence, and the due diligence passes, the next day the seller could say, well, we don't want to do it. Now the buyer is either stuck in the contract, they have to take care of the mold, or they terminate and could have the possibility of losing their earnest money. So that's a lot of pressure to put on a transaction coordinator, in my opinion. Like, we take mostly everything off of the agent's plates, and I'm all for that, but we don't have to take everything off of their plate. And to me, that's something, and a lot of my agents do. They want to own that particular part. I don't mind doing other amendments, but because of the time crunch and because of the liability of there being a misunderstanding of what they meant to say, because they're rushing, sending you, oh well, the buyer wants them to take care of the windows. Well, the inspection report got four things on the windows. Which one? So now it's all this back and forth. And with our tasks and how you're setting your systems up, we don't necessarily have time to be going back and forth. We have a system in place so that we can have the capacity to work with several agents at a time. If we're getting hung up on every agent's ATAC, trust me, you're going to miss some other stuff, or you have the potential to miss some other things. And then when you get to the point of scaling your business, you have to think about, what can I easily train somebody else to do? Like how I do ATAX is in my head, or, how I think through, okay, well, I think she meant this, or, you know what I mean? Those things are in my head and aren't necessarily easily transferable. And not everybody can write an ATAC. So
It's definitely challenging and scary to do, especially as my first transaction, because I haven't done any deals as a realtor either. So this is my first.
What I would say is tell them, hey, I need you to send me an email. Like, basically they're doing the work still. You're going to have to tell me exactly what you want me to say, and then I'll own transferring what you typed onto the ATAC and making sure that it gets circulated and signed.
That's exactly what I did. They just sent me each one of the codes, and I just put it in and sent it, because I'm like, I can do it. So even
the codes, because me being a practicing agent, technically there are certain ways you need to write the ATAC so it doesn't raise a red flag for the underwriter. So per my training, I take ongoing contracts training. Per my training, we are not necessarily, and I see agents do this all the time. When they do it, I don't do ATAX anymore. So when they do it, I just send it on, But you should not reference the inspection report in your ATAC. So it shouldn't be, seller agrees to repair painted shut windows and then putting the section and the page number of the, because they're going to ask to see the inspection report. And technically, we used to send the inspection report when I first started with my first agent, but we stopped because ongoing training, they've told us don't do that, because you never want to send a lender anything above and beyond what they're asking for. Keep it simple. Send them exactly what they're asking for. Don't try to be an overachiever and then you end up shooting yourself in the foot. So the inspection report is similar. So how I word ATAX, if they said, okay, Courtney, I want you to do an ATAC and the buyer wants section 3.4 taken care of. And section 3.4 says, seller agree, section 3.4 says, let's see what it would say.
I can pull on one
water heater. Yeah, you can. But water heater, I don't know. Water heater is missing the expansion tank. Or water heater is reaching the end of its useful life or something like that. I would just say seller agrees to replace the expansion tank on water heater. not the other part about, now there's a risk of, infectious gases because this isn't done. Because it'll be extra information. So you don't copy and paste that. You just say seller agrees to replace the expansion tank on the water heater. So it still is work because So I'm like, no, type how you want it to say. Type what you want it to say on the ATAC. And all I want to have to do is copy and paste it on the ATAC. Don't send me where to reference the items. So that's why I just don't do it at all. Because I don't want to have to be nickel and diamond about, oh, well, I don't do that. I just kind of, and I tell them up front in the call, we're happy to handle amendments, everything except for the ATAC. And if they ask why, just what I told you, there's a lot of liability with that. There's a lot of room for error, a lot of room for interpretation that may be different from what you meant. So we just stopped doing it, is how I put it. But then I talk about everything else we do.
Right. So let me ask you a question. What system is the best that you have experienced so far?
For transactions? Well, I use TC Docs, not necessarily because it's the best, but I've gotten used to it. And they do have similar functions. They offer the Google Calendar integration. They have automatic templates that I created. So all of the email templates that I gave you, you can copy and paste those into whatever system you want to use. With all of them, there's some setup up front. And TC Docs offers that. It's just the same thing that turned me on about it. It's the same thing that sometimes turns me off. It just doesn't feel like it has the bells and whistles, but it does. But the way that it is good for low-tech people who don't mind setting something up, but don't want it to be just extremely hard. The one that is the most expensive, and it seems to work the best if you can get it set up properly, which I have yet to be able to do, is called Open to Close. It used to be called TC Workflow. That one, when it was TC Workflow, I've done several free trials with them, to the point to where it's 14 or 21 days free trial. And I spent that whole time plus paid for it a couple of months after and still couldn't get it set up.
Yeah, I did the free trial.
I did that twice over one time 1 year, one time another year. So it was just this is too techie for me. The setup portion, I can't get past the setup portion. And by that time, I'm already in my business and working. So I can't. So I'm still doing TC Docs, trying to set that up. And it just was overwhelming for me. So I just stayed with TC Docs. Like I mentioned before, though, it is nothing wrong with, to an extent, I miss the paper checklist. There's nothing wrong with that. So I know TC Docs is only $60 a month. That's cheap, but if you only got one deal, it's up to you. But at the same time, I do understand why you would want to pick something, because you don't want to get busy, or you don't want to wait until you are busy. Like I said, when I was trying to do it with TC Workflow, trying to get it set up, and now you're too busy too. So I get it. So that would be up to you, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I like TC Docs though. It has everything you need, and it's easy to set up.
Gotcha. One other question.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your landing page, I am working on my landing. So I worked on my landing page on Google Sites, and that was fine, but I can't use my same domain name. So today I tried to use one on, Squarespace.
Okay.
I don't know. I just been working on it today. It took me 2 or 3 hours. So what is do anybody at least know what is a good free landing page for like starters?
Free? I don't know. Because
Or
I
even if
don't.
it's not like what's the good landing page
Yeah,
that has like things embedded into it where I can have links in it, like a Canva link.
maybe Wix.
Links.
But I'm not sure. I got rid of my entire website this year. Like I don't even use a landing page currently. Currently, I just use Calendly, or like I do outreach, and like if I go in somebody's DM, or if somebody recommends me because somebody asked about a TC, or are you in groups and stuff, I just say stuff like, hey, I'd love to assist, let's set up a call to see if we're a good fit. Anything that I post will have like a call to action, like, hey, check the link in my, if you're doing Instagram, check the link in my bio for to set up a 15-minute call. And that's really all I've been using. And also, Canva.
Okay, I tried with okay, let me put that down to try.
Yeah. Canva for landing pages and for, so I was going to say a lead magnet. So let's see if I can share my screen. I created what I call a top producer's guide to leveraging time. And that's basically my landing page, but it's electronic and it's from Canva. I created it in Canva. So let me see if I don't know what I'm doing.
So if you use Canva, do you need a domain for it, or like how do you link the
Yes,
Canva?
I believe so. I haven't used it, but you can Google Canva landing page. I'm sure you can find a bunch of information. Share screen. What about current? What do y'all see now?
You.
It says share screen. Okay, primary. I gotta learn this. Show secondary display. Okay, so what about now? Okay, so, okay, so yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Ecamm live. Dang it. Camera. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Overlays. This is like way too much going on. Profile. All right, well, let me try one more thing. Let me try scenes. Screen sharing. Include desktop. Yeah, I might not be able to show it, but yeah. So my my document is in my bio. If you go to my Instagram page, ATL Courtney. So, but I have so much going on that I have a link tree, and then on the link tree you can find the appropriate stuff. But I created this in Canva, and it's like a brochure, but it's got who I am, what I offer them, and then service lists and prices, and then what's next, which is a call to action to schedule a 15-minute call with me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't overthink the landing page, but I would use Canva. Canva is bae. I use Canva for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss PJ, you're up.
Oh, thank you. Well, hello, Courtney.
Hello.
Good to see you. And hello, everybody. My name is PJ, and I'm just excited about doing this. I have finished my class.
Yay.
And now I'm trying to set up everything. I have my domain,
Okay.
and I kind of was trying to figure out what to do about the systems. I just really, that's where I get lost at, what systems I need. And you kind of have answered a lot of the questions. But I have a question. You mentioned QuickBook at one time. And so that's used for your accounting?
Yes.
For your business or?
Yes. So once when I started this course in 2020, I was gung ho about you deciding how you want to structure your business up front, do your LLC or whatever you choose to do, whether it's LLC or proprietor or sole proprietor, whatever it is, because I was excited about the fact that as a business owner, they gave me unemployment during the pandemic, where like that's unheard of. So, and that was only because I had an LLC and I was able to get a loan for, that's how I was able to have my first hire, all because I had my business set up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like so gung ho about it then. Now, still, if that's something you want to do, definitely. But it's not like mandatory that you establish your, register your business right away and, do a LLC or whatever you decide to do right away, but because for years I was just using like my bank account, which you shouldn't do. You really should, in order to get your business bank account, you do have to set up your business and you do have to register your business. And then that way, once you have your bank account, any money that you're making from your business can be easily separated and determined from there. And what I learned over the years, like back then, I remember thinking like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, I would just get money from my businesses and just pay the bills or whatever, like out of my business bank account though. If I would have gotten audited, I would have gotten in trouble because you're not supposed to commingle your funds. So now what I do is anytime I get paid, I just take all of it. I just transfer the whole amount almost into my regular account because it just needs to show that it touched there. Like, but in my mind, I was thinking like, I don't know, like I can't pay myself the right amount. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, oh, the business made zero because I'm taking the money out. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just, they don't want to see your Zaxby's bill in your business account or your Fashion Nova in your business account. And then you doing business expenses too. Like, you know what I mean? If you ever get audited. But my point is QuickBooks, you like I said, and this is the same with any system, starting off, I don't believe in spending money before you making any money. So QuickBooks is down the line. You can easily keep track of your income, your business income in the beginning using an Excel spreadsheet or finding some kind of free system. You know what I mean? But
what about PayPal?
PayPal, you could. No. So I was using PayPal for a while. And what I don't like about PayPal is there's no reporting per se. So it's like, there is, I guess, but it's very like, and you can invoice in PayPal. Go ahead.
I think that's supposed to change in reference to PayPal.
What is? They're going to be more robust?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I ended up not using them. But keep in mind with any system, they're going to take a cut. I think I pay like $11 per transaction. So like if I'm charging 400, it's like $11.85 getting taken out from that. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you could use something like a PayPal. I do like PayPal because you can do automated invoicing. Not automated, but you can, have a business like invoice. And it's, kind of easy to maneuver through and stuff like that. So that would be a good beginning thing. And did I have to pay for PayPal? I don't think I have to pay monthly or anything. You have to pay monthly for QuickBooks. So.
Hey. Well, like I said, I think you answered pretty much all my questions about the different systems. But I have a question. What about, I was talking to somebody, anyway, they saying, like, I have a personal Facebook page, right? Can you change that to a business Facebook? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to just.
I feel like I tried to do that, and I don't think you can, because my issue with that I'm having, and you shaking your head, I believe that's true, because I would like to change my page to a business page so that I can then tie my IG to my Facebook, and I can't. I think you used to be able to, but you can't now. I've Googled it, and I believe that is the case. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So you have to go on there. So you can't and I only know this because I have my business page, but you can't turn your personal page, your personal Facebook page into a business page.
Yeah.
You have to literally go and because there are two different types of pages. So because with your business page, it's not like a follow page. It's like if you like it, then you'll follow it. So It's not the same as your business. And now once you make that separate business page on Facebook, you can link everything in with that. So if you post from one, I think it's called Meta Business Suite, then it'll do it all, but you can't turn it.
That's right. So you used to be able to, and you can't now, and that bothers me because I want my Instagram page to be tied into my personal Facebook page, and I'm more than happy to turn it into a page, but I can't now. And so it's bothersome. So now I did, like she said, I created a business page from the Instagram page that nobody knows about, nobody has it, and that's what's getting copied from Instagram, and it really is annoying me, because I would like to have my personal followers on my personal page see my stuff on Instagram, and I can't.
Yeah.
So you're gonna, I would say, if most of your friends are family and high school friends and stuff like that, just go ahead and, start over. My page has I have a lot of agents on my page as well as friends and family. So I wish that I could share that, but I would just say maybe just have a fresh start. Now, what did you decide for your business name? You said
ABC Transaction Coordinator.
All right. Y'all like my sound? What did you say?
Then my tag on that is always be closing.
Cute. I like that. Okay, hurry up and register now. So you can start. Good. Okay. So start thinking about your posts. So one thing that I mentioned the last two meetings is ChatGPT or any AI, artificial intelligence, to help you. I have written an entire blog post in 10 minutes using ChatGPT. I type in, let's just say 10 ways to earn 6 figures as a virtual assistant. Like I'll do that instead of TC sometimes to see how much more information I can get, and then I can tweak it to my own stuff. But let's just use that as an example. And I wish I could share my screen. Oh, you know what? I might be able to on this. Do you guys see only me, or do you see each other too?
I see everybody.
Okay, let me see. I forgot I can share my screen on Zoom instead of, let's see.
Courtney, are you saying chat GPC?
G, P is in Peter, T is in Tom.
T.
Okay, so
T.
I'm getting ready to show y'all right now, I think. I don't know which screen. Okay. So, and there's a bunch of them. There's Notion, there's a bunch of different AI things. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay, so I just Googled Chat GPT and it takes you to this first thing, OpenAI. That's what I have. So try and then log in. I don't know if this is. Okay, so look at this. I said 10 tips to help you make 6 figures as a real estate agent. And this is what it came up with. And I can write a whole blog post. Why are you afraid to start a business? That's not. What are self-limiting beliefs people have around starting a business? You know, like this gives you ideas, brainstorming. I'm very basic in what I've been doing, but I had somebody say, create a Monday through Friday social media strategy for real estate agent, let's say virtual assistant. See what it comes up with. So this is telling you, Monday, share a motivational quote related to the real estate industry in Twitter and Instagram. I mean, and you know, obviously you don't have to do Twitter if you're not on Twitter, but this is giving you the ideas. Tuesday, share a virtual, this is if you're a real estate agent. Share a virtual tour of a virtual tour video of a property on Facebook and Instagram. Share a blog post on Twitter about the current real estate market trends. The only thing is, you have to be somewhat careful because these are, I think that this is only, the information is only good up to 2021. So if you ask for real estate market trends, it may not be current. But just for brainstorming ideas, for topics to write about, and you can get more detailed than this. I'm learning a lot. Like if you go on Instagram, everybody's talking about AI right now. You're going to be able to find some tips. But this is clutch. Especially when you're new to social media and you're not used to posting business posts, this will help you come up with some ideas. Also follow go on Instagram and Facebook and start joining some of these real estate groups, following some of these real estate agents, and look at some of the things. And as you do that, the algorithm will start to mold what they show you. And you'll start to kind of see what other people are posting. I like to follow other virtual assistants, just general virtual assistants, as well as TCs, as well as real estate agents, and see what they're talking about. See what their visuals are looking like, and don't copy, but inspire yourself, so that you can come up and then go on Canva and go off. What I've stopped doing is my page is no longer, well, it never really was. I couldn't stick with it, but I don't try to focus on my grids looking a certain way. Actually, I even updated my bio in Instagram, and I'll show you what my new bio is. And this is so true about where I'm at right now. Okay, how do I get to my page? So my bio now says, F the algorithm. Period. I am no longer caring about what time I post. Like, I want to, but I can't. So I'm just going to be consistent on my time. But anyway, F the algorithm. I post what I want about real estate, being a TC, and training other women to do the same while trying to balance marriage and parenthood. That's me in a nutshell. So come up with, what your thing is. My bio, and again, things evolve. And so the training is now almost 3 years old. 3 years ago, the samples that I showed you, that's what we were doing. We were, it's still the same thing. You still want to I'm still telling you who I'm helping. Mm-hmm. It's still the same training that I gave you. Who are you helping and how? But also, if you can fit in that little thing something unique, or not off-putting, but F the algorithm is kind of like, stop, listen to what I got to say. I'm not even tripping on the algorithm. Are you? Aren't you tired of it? That kind of thing. So, I started using these guides. This is something that wasn't there before. So this allows me to kind of compartmentalize what I do, because again, I like showing who I am too. So you're going to see the alphabet dates with my husband. I'm not all work. I'm not one dimension. You know what I mean? And these days, especially in this type of business, people work with people. They want to work with you and who you're promoting yourself to be. So who are you? Figure out who you are, what your voice is, and be consistent with it. You got to figure out how to use hashtags. So start Googling and researching as much as you can about hashtags. The simplest way is to start off with city you're interested in, real estate. So Atlanta real estate, that's a hashtag. See who's under that see who's posting under that hashtag. Follow them. You can also follow a hashtag, so you can kind of see when things are posted in that hashtag. When you're using hashtags, you don't necessarily, now they're saying, you can do like up to however many hashtags, like maybe 10 or 14, but now they're like, don't do no more than 5. And I believe it, because they be showing my stuff to like 2 people. And that could be it. Like, I thought I was shadow banned last week. So shadow ban is where, for whatever reason, you don't know it, but they're not showing your shit to anybody. And the way that you figure that out is you go to whatever one of the hashtags you use, and you look for the post you just posted. And if it's not there, then you're probably shadow banned. But the way that I do it is I don't necessarily use hashtags that have 1 million posts under them, like the most popular hashtag, because you'll never find yourself on there. So find a hashtag that maybe has a few thousand, not like 1 million or hundreds of thousands of posts, because you'll get buried in that. So like those are the things that you'll learn as you research deeper on hashtags and how to use them. But hashtags is how people find you on Instagram. Facebook, I don't think is so much. But I've also found that, so I told y'all that Instagram, sorry, it's a mosquito on here. Instagram doesn't automatically put my posts onto my Facebook personal page. But my Facebook personal page, when I post a picture or a video on there, lately it's been automatically going to Instagram. And at first I was like, no, that doesn't match my aesthetic. And, I was erasing them. But I found that on those, I don't even like do any hashtags or anything. And people are still like engaged in them. So I'm keeping them. Lately, though, after I get the engagement, like maybe a week or so later, I've been archiving them because, again, they don't really match. But like, I just archived one yesterday. But like this one, this is a personal little thing with my daughter. And it had 279 views. And I don't think it even had a hashtag. Look, this was from my Facebook. There's no hashtag. And it got just as many views. Like just as little, I should say, just as little views as the other ones. Like you got more than some of the ones that I actually did hashtags on. So like Instagram, the algorithm is constantly changing. There's no real rhyme or reason. You'll annoy yourself if you try to figure it out too much. So all I'm telling you is to pick your voice, get your bio set up, and start being consistent. Whether that's once a week, if that's all you can do right now, then do once a week, but do it every week. Like I've been doing TC Tuesdays. I missed yesterday because I didn't even realize it was Tuesday, but I'm just going to post it today. Nobody really cares. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be me showing up every week. I'm committing, I can't believe I'm saying this, to going live once a week. That's hard for me. It'll be hard for you. But if you want to make money and get the engagement and you want eyeballs on your business, these are the things you have to do. And as I become when I show up live, maybe nobody will be on there. So what? I'm still going to do the live and I'm still going to try to come up with some content that's valuable. And then that live will still either stay up there or whatever, but it'll be something that I'll do every week. And eventually people will come to expect it and they'll, show up maybe, So that's my suggestion. People are afraid of social media sometimes, and it is a lot, but just commit to once a week of doing something on social media for your business. All right, so let's see. Now y'all are in a different order. So Chastity is next on my screen.
Okay.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. So I know it's been a minute since you saw me, but I have finished the class since then.
Okay.
I did pick a name and I did get an LLC. So my name is Chastity Taylor. So I named it Perfectly Tailored Transactions.
Yes, I love it.
So right now, one of my best friends, who's my realtor when I purchased, so we're kind of just waiting. She has a client right now. So once that client picks a home, that will be my first time using my new transaction coordinator skills.
Okay.
So I'm nervous. I'm like, man, I hope I listened real good. And I know what I'm doing. So I'm still trying to get like the systems and everything down. I'm like, it's a lot, but I did make an Instagram page. So I made my the calendar link. So I have that set up, and then I know I signed up for, I think it's called Amtree, the folio for the time.
I use that.
So does that take the place for TC Docs? Like you can use one or the other, or?
Sorry, I have to turn on the light.
You're fine.
So for me, it doesn't, because I only use it for it to automate my calendar. Automate my folder management. So back when I first started, I did everything manually. So back then, and there was nothing that did this for me, but back then I was already creating a folder for each transaction with the naming convention of the close month and day with the street name or street address.
Okay.
So what Folio does is it creates smart folders that does the exact same thing. And then it takes it one further so that it automatically, intuitively moves or copies any email that has to do with that transaction. It automatically you create the smart folder, then it automatically puts any email related to that transaction into that folder. Then at the end of the transaction, it's also tied into my Google Drive. And when I go to my Google Drive, any PDF that was shared in that folder is in the Google Drive. So then I can create a link and send that link to the client and the agent, thanking them for, or congratulating them on their closing, and giving them a link to all of their important documents. So that's why I use it, just for that. Now it does, I don't even know what else it does, but it does tout itself as a transaction manager. I just don't know. Like in the beginning, I know I never do this, but you can put all the dates in there.
Right.
So, I would give it a try and see. It does not have, what it doesn't do that I know of is you don't have any templates for your folder. So you're still having to remember to type a new email for the lender for an update, or the closing attorney for an update, and you're still having to kind of know when to do that. With something like a TC Docs, you've created a task list. I think you do create a task list on Folio though.
Okay.
But with TC Docs,
get into it a little bit more.
What I find helpful is what I find more helpful than how I did it before manually is having some sort of semi-automations, because TC Docs isn't fully automated, but I still have to push a button. But I created templates, I created things so that that's all I have to do. And with the tasks, it makes my task list color coded. So like if something's outstanding, it's red. Look ahead, things are blue, so I can see what's coming. What's due today is yellow, so those things help me. So it's up to you. It may be something good to start off with and see how you like it, but I use Folio just for that part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I had looked at that. So just trying to get that piece down, and I guess, kind of like get into my own groove of things. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I haven't made a website or anything. I guess I'm kind of like you. I'm on the fence about like, a website. I have like a website. I do balloons on the side. So I have a website for that. And I'm like, I just don't even feel like anybody even goes on here at this
That's
point.
how I felt with my TC website. I felt like nobody goes on it,
You pay that money for, a month to have the domain, and I'm like, y'all don't even use it.
And the thing about it is, here's the thing with a website. Now, I'm okay with the landing page like Shardavia was talking about.
Right.
That's fine. But a website that's not intuitive and is not collecting information is nothing.
Right.
It's nothing but a business card, and y'all know how I feel about business cards.
I,
It's a one-way street. So if you don't have a way to get somebody to give you their email address in exchange for your information, then it's useless. I wouldn't spend time on something like that when you got other things you need to be doing to make money and to move the needle with your business. So a website or a business card would not be the first thing that I focus on, if at all. I really feel like basic websites, just to check something off the list, those are going away. Now, the landing page is cool if it has a call to action in the beginning. So that's what a landing page is. So a landing page is just no information really. It's the promise of some information. You know, hey, let me get your email so that I can send you this, or so that we can meet, or whatever. They give you their information because they want something, and then now you have control over that contact.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't focus on a website. If you want to do a landing page, one pager, with a call to action, do that.
Okay. So yeah, that's really it. And then I know I had told you, so I did just recently close on Monday on my second Airbnb. So that's my big win.
Wait a minute. I lost my oh. Okay, you did what now?
I closed on my second Airbnb. Thank you.
That's amazing. Now, where is this Airbnb located?
So it's 6 minutes from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So it's kind of in the Midtown area. I think it's like Center Hill Grove.
Okay.
In that area.
Yeah.
So 2-bedroom, 2-bath, newly top renovated home. So I'm super excited about it.
So you're buying your Airbnbs. You're not doing arbitrage.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, everybody has their own, way of doing things.
Yeah.
I might try it after the fact, but I'd rather just buy at least one, and I have that because it's so many different levels to this rental.
Well, the thing is, though, with the city of it, so I just leased I represented the landlord in the lease, and we accepted an Airbnb business owner for it, and it's in Hateville.
Okay.
And we were kind of looking at some things, and so you can only have 2 in the city.
Yes, legally.
And you have to get licenses and all of this stuff, and so it's my understanding that would be for the tenant to do in the case of arbitrage, not the landlord. We said we was gonna pretend we didn't know what they talking about if they ask her.
Well, I will say, probably off topic, I will say they still are going to have to send so one of the papers in there, they have to technically, it's a paper that even though you're the tenant, it's a difference. If you're the owner, cool, then you get it notarized, you're the owner. But if you're not the owner, you still have to go to the actual owner, and the paper says like, I, owner name, give permission to tenant name, and you have to get that document notarized. So I mean, I don't know how some people kind of finagle through that part, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she has more than one in a city, or I didn't get into that. And I'm like, just make sure you get my are able to pay my landlord her money every month. It seems like, she has her business seemed like it was together. She had her numbers. They seem like the numbers seem like they're going to work. I know y'all know all of the different sites to analyze the deal. And so I'm praying that it's very fruitful. I want her to win. She's from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. So I kind of had and my landlord is from Chicago. So it's kind of like, oh, she's from Chicago. So hopefully doesn't
Yeah.
bite her in the butt, and everything is everything. So
Well, yeah.
we should, but I was kind of like, I wouldn't mind doing that, but then I was like, I ain't got time to be doing that. Airbnb is a lot of work. Seems like.
If you, it is, but I mean, I like it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. I will say I'll probably never do an Airbnb. So my first one was in a condo. I'll never do that again.
No, I don't recommend it.
Oh, God. I would never, but if I knew somebody that was leasing, oh yeah, I would jump on that in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's to each his own.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's
Thank
great news. You got to have multiple streams of income in this climate. Like, it's just a non-negotiable at this point.
It is.
You know, because even like for a minute there, even this month, I looked at last month's numbers. I was like, oh my God. I thought last quarter was slow. This was slow. But I'm picking up, you know, but it's up, it's business. So you have to have, you know, have other baskets or, you know, you won't survive.
Yeah,
right. You know, so, and you can never go wrong with real estate. If you can afford to purchase property, or if you have the credit, because you don't even have to have money. You got to learn how to figure out how to use other people's money. Because it's not all about how much money you have. There's private lending. There's where they're not even looking at your credit like that. They're looking at what is the bottom line for these numbers on this property. It's about the asset and less about your money. If they feel like the asset can produce and make the money, they'll loan you the money. So, you know, start really honing in and like learning other things, because with things costing so much, my kids are home all week and I feel bad because we haven't went anywhere yet. And it's already Wednesday, but I had to order groceries yesterday, and it was like $150, and I didn't get nothing. They wanted me to get just the regular, just junk on and groceries chicken nuggets, and you know, I'm just $150.
They're expensive for no reason. I'm still walking past the egg section.
Girl, same. And my daughter can make eggs now, and it's like, listen, you're gonna have to make one egg, not two. You're gonna scramble one egg. Put some water in it or something, because we're going to have to take it back to the old school when people was broke, because we going in that direction in a minute with this food. I'm just like, I'm glad y'all home and we can sleep in, but also I'm tired of y'all telling me y'all hungry. Can y'all figure something?
And then, you know, when you're bored, that's when you really start eating. You're like, what's
right. Girl, and it's so expensive. I was so mad about them groceries. I'm like, man, if y'all was in school, we wouldn't have to be buying these, you know. So yeah, it's just a lot. So anyway, multiple streams of income. Okay, so let's get to Tia. What time is it? Tina, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be real quick. I'm Tina. And Courtney, I did your class, I think in 2021 at the end.
Oh my gosh.
So
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute for me, and the reason I got connected with you,
I remember
my best friend that lives in Florida, follows you. She's a real estater.
Tell me her name again.
It's Carla Braining.
Okay.
She's originally from Bahamas, so she does these workshops with these group of women. Like I was in Chicago with her in January.
Okay.
So yeah, she's all about the business.
Yeah.
And so she called me. Anyway, I did your course. I signed up. I got my name. I did my LLC, but I didn't renew it when the year was up.
Okay.
So I was kind of panicking, like, do I go back and renew it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be a penalty with that?
I don't know. I mean, there is a penalty, like a couple dollars, like it may be $75 instead of $50. But I don't know if it's been like a year. Do they make you do it over? You can see your status of it now.
So I'm gonna go back and do that. But anyway, My friend called me last month.
Oh, that's
about
right.
2 weeks ago, because
Yeah.
I stressed out and I emailed you, sent you a
Yes.
message. She said, okay, we're getting ready.
Good.
Be ready in May to do
Okay.
your
Perfect timing.
first walk, and we're going to do it hand by hand.
Good.
So I was going back over the emails because you gave me access back to the emails, and I was still stuck on because I never went as far as looking into the system. So that's what I'm going to try to finish this week. That was one of my goals this week. I do work in education, so I'm so excited for this week off. I know it's stressful money.
Right. Girl, I'm like, please take our kids back quickly.
We will on Monday. So I heard a lot of information today that answered some of my questions. So my next step is to get familiarized with the system.
Yeah, I would say, and by systems doesn't mean you need to spend money.
Right.
The system it can be a paper system, just having a system that you know what to do when X happens, this. If X, then Y equals Z.
So is that, because we talked about a checklist.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So where would I find that checklist?
It should be in Module 5.
Module 5? Okay, I didn't get there.
Module 5 or 6, but I think it's 5.
Because she has been sending me emails of someone she's been working with, another TC in Florida, just so I can look at what they use.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of what I'm good. I have until May. I'm got through.
Yeah, and Florida is a little different. Let me see if I still have. It's slightly different. Let me see. Let me see if I can do a quick little rundown with you on Florida. So again, I am only licensed in Georgia, but I've done deals in Florida. I was in the same, I had the same knowledge as you do. So I'm saying that to say that don't be nervous. It doesn't matter that you're not familiar. Once she sends you a contract, then you know that you're skimming through that contract and you're looking for things that could that have dates attached to it.
Right.
Because those are the things that you're going to be
focused on.
Correct. Let me see something. If I can find a Florida contract.
And the name of the program Chastity mentioned, is it just called Folio?
Yes, that's Folio.
It's just called Folio.
It's a Google product.
Oh, okay.
See.
All right.
See if I'm just trying to. That's not working how I want it because I don't think I have the contracts in.
Okay.
TC docs. I think that. Let me just try one more place. So this is how it comes up in Folio. Was it Chastity that had Folio? So it creates this folder, and then she's not. She turned off her camera. But anyway, every amendment.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. Okay. Every amendment that we've done, the home inspection, anything that's been emailed is here. And then at the end of the transaction, I send them a link. So I make it anyone with the link, copy the link, and I send it to them. And that's like a great value add to not only their client, but to them.
Okay, and so all of that is on the Google. That's what I
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Google Drive that Folio did, but I was trying to look for my Florida deals. Let's see. I don't know why it's only showing. Let's see here. I'll be having so much stuff. Okay. Then I turned my computers around, and so now my screens are not in order, and that's why my arrow is all over the place. Okay, so one more place, and then I'll let y'all go. But I just want to get you the help that you need, because we won't meet again until after May. So I don't want them to start one and you don't have. I just want to kind of give you the mindset that you need to have when you receive the contract, like what you kind of need to be focused on. Okay. We'll look at closed. And that was Taisha. I wonder, did I have these deals before I even got TC Docs? Because now I'm not seeing it. So, all right. So what I'll do is I'll look and just look for a Florida contract online. So Florida real estate. I wish I could find it so we can look at it. Because I can't remember if this was it or not. I feel like this is it. And of course I can't see it. Dang it. Okay, here's one. Angelonia Terrace. I wonder why she's not in my... Oh, I know why. I have to like put these in a vault when they're done on my TC. That's another thing I don't care for about TC Docs. Because if you have too many, they try to encourage you to like vault the stuff. And then I don't know what happens to it when you do that. So, let's see. But this is one of the Florida deals. Let's see. Angelonia. Good Lord, this is like everywhere. And I have everything but the contract. Let me see if I can find it on TC Docs. Almost there. Hmm. And this was Home Partners. Oh my God. This is crazy. I cannot find this contract. One more place and then that's it. Let me check my. Okay, it's not in archives. That is absolutely insane. And see, I never have to go back and like I just kind of trust that everything is like still here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good lesson. Like, where is this stuff? Let's see. It expired. Rent closed 10/30/20. Like, I literally am not finding this. That's really bothersome. That's gonna really bother me. Okay, let's see if it'll be. All right, well, here's an extension. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see. So this was an extension to extend the contract. And so this looks different than Georgia, but you just pick which one you want. So like if they say, hey, we're extending the inspection period, then you would check this and put the additional number of days. You're extending the closing, you would check this and put it here. Due diligence. So I mean, it's really, once you know where to find the stuff, so you would ask the agent wouldn't expect that you know. So let me backtrack. Some questions to ask your client is up front, where do you house your forms? And like what signing agent do you use and where do you house your forms? Like, do you have something like Sky Slope for your forms? Or I think this agent her brokerage had something that had the forms in it. So like the same system that the broker compliance used, that's where her forms were. So you would ask her specifically, where do you house your forms? Because if they ask you to do an amendment, you're going to need to know like where to find this.
Okay.
Then you're going to ask what she uses for broker compliance. Is she the broker or does she work under a brokerage? And what system do they use for compliance? Do they have like a system where you'll have to create the transaction within their system and upload the documents and then the broker will approve it? Like, what's that process? What's their compliance process? Those are two questions that you want to ask her up front. I do not know why this stopped here. And that is really bothering me. Because I really wanted to see the contract. Let's make sure. Lake Manor. Let's see. I think this looks like a Florida address, but why is it not even loading anything? Okay, let's see what this is. Executed contract. Okay, please let this be in here. Nope.
It's okay. I just sent her those 2 questions that you sent me. She'll probably let me know tomorrow.
Yep. And so this one it's loading. Let's see.
Okay.
It's like I'm seeing everything but what I need.
That's normally the case.
Right.
You can't, yeah.
Attached is the executed contract. Finally. Okay. Okay. So here is a Florida contract. So when you receive the contract, number one, you're going to check to make sure that there aren't any obvious blanks.
Okay.
So obviously it's important to know who the parties are. So you have to have the seller, you have to have the buyer, the full address, city and zip, county, tax ID, and legal description. Georgia is a little bit different with the legal description. But this looks, for as far as we know, this is fine as long as it's not blank. We don't know what it should be. So, but, making sure that's not blank. With this, you're picking this. There is no personal property, so that's why that's blank. There is nothing excluded. That's why that's blank. You got the purchase price. This is the earnest money. So anytime you see deposit, escrow, that's your earnest money, which is a good faith deposit to secure the deal. And so here's your first tracking. Earnest money is due 3 days from effective date, binding date, acceptance date, ratified date. Those are some of the words you'll hear to explain acceptance. And that is, either of those names are the names that you'll be counting your days from. So it's 3 days. They initialed this because, as you can see, there was a correction. If there wasn't a correction there wouldn't be any initial. There wouldn't be any initials here. I'm trying to think. Because these look like initial boxes. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% familiar with Florida.
Okay. Yeah, because they have initials down the bottom as well.
Yeah. So you want to definitely check that. You know that you need initials here. If that was missing, you would say something like, hey, it's missing. Okay. This is the title company. So Georgia is a closing attorney state. Florida is a title state. So the closings are held in a title office. So it's First International Title. So you'll need to note that. So like whenever you get a contract, a lot of times you won't have, they don't have the address. They don't have anything here. You need the title company's email address because they're a part of the people you're going to be emailing your intro letter to. So whenever you receive a contract and if it's not included, you're going to reply and say, hey, thanks for the contract. Would you happen to have a contact over at the title company and for the lender? Or would you happen to have their email address?
Right.
96.6 is 3.5. Well, I don't know what 96.6. Usually it's 97.5, which is 3.5% of the sales price if it's an FHA. I'm not sure what it is yet. But this is just saying expressed as a dollar, as a percentage. So they're financing 96.6% of the sales price. And I don't think so. And then so after that, we got the closing date here. So that's gonna go. That's something you're gonna hone in. Okay, that's the closing date. Financing is important. So this is telling you that this is an FHA loan. So with FHA, whenever you see that, you know that there won't be, well, in Florida, I don't think there is anyway, but FHA doesn't have a separate appraisal contingency, just the loan contingency. And so as you can see here, they have 30 days. It's contingent upon them obtaining approval of an FHA loan within 30 days. So that's going to go on your checklist. This is for a term of 30 years. You don't really care about that, but this is saying that they need to apply for financing within 5 days. If they submit a pre-approval with this, then the application is already done.
Right.
But if you want to be professional or efficient, you would still go ahead and put this on your task list to just show that you've identified and noted everything in the contract. So 5 days for the application, and maybe on the 5th day say, hey, I just wanted to confirm everything's okay with the application. Yeah. Okay, initials here, you're making sure that those are there. Florida, they might not care as much. And a lot of times, like if you don't know, like let's say one of these were supposed to be checked. When you upload it to broker compliance, they'll tell you if it needed to be checked, and then you'll just need to get the correction. But that'll just help you learn what the broker wants. You know what I mean? And what's a compliance issue. But as you get better, obviously, when you're looking at these, you don't want to get your stuff sent back. So you're going to make sure you're looking. Now you know what to look for.
Right.
But again, for just simplistic purposes, you're making sure all of the initials are there, and you're looking for any dates that you need to track. Home warranty is important. So if this was checked, this says seller, this is checked. So this says the seller is providing a warranty not to exceed $600. Usually the buyer agent orders that home warranty. So you'll find out from them, hey, what warranty company do you want me to use? Do you have a login for them for me to go ahead and order that? And then you just order one of their plans that's less than $600. And then you have it scheduled to send to the closing agent and the buyer, and everybody else, but definitely the closing agent, because they have to put it on the settlement statement. And let's see, initials again. Okay, 7 days. They have a 7-day right to inspect, and they can cancel. So that's something you're tracking. So that'll be your inspection period. You would call it inspection period, and I would call it due diligence. So like if you go by my checklist and it says due diligence, if you're in Florida, you're probably going to just say inspection. And if this was blank, it would be 15.
Okay.
So you still kind of have to read through it. But this is because a lot of stuff is going to be boilerplate, but definitely the stuff with numbers, read it and understand what it actually says to help you understand it better.
Yes.
And again, like I said, I didn't have any experience with Florida. I don't need it. I know how to read I know for our purposes what we're looking for. Initials. I hate contracts where you have to initial every page. Usually they always miss too. So this addenda, so this is what they should have attached. So a lot of
To the
times,
contract.
yep, agents will forget, and that's annoying. And you have to be like, hey, could you send me the FHA exhibit or addenda? But anyway, so there should be 1, 2, 3 things attached. And then this is important because these are items that they added in. So these supersede pre-written stuff. So all appliances, including, so you would just, I put this in my, for TC docs, I have a section for contract notes and it shows up real nice and pretty on the summary.
Okay.
But anyway, all appliances included at no additional cost. So seller agrees to provide seller's property disclosure within 24 hours. This is something you would add to your task list to follow up on in 24 hours. Prior to the end of due diligence, seller shall provide the buyer with so this is a termite letter. So this would be due, I think it was it a 7-day inspection period? So on so on day 5 or so, I would probably start following, I would put it on my task list to follow up with the listing agent to see if they got the letter.
Okay.
Because it's due. Initials. And then these are the signatures. You got the buyer, seller, and the dates. And then the agents.
Okay.
So this is one of those addendum that were attached. So that's one of them. Initial by the buyer, signed by the buyer, and signed by the seller. Initial by the buyer. Like literally you're just making sure. And this won't be on all of them probably, but it was on this one because they said it was. So and yeah, actually this is something you would have to read over. So whenever one of these wholesaler type of companies, like back when it was Zillow buying properties and stuff, they would always attach a separate exhibit or addendum. And sometimes it would have dates. So you would want to read through some of this. Okay, and so that's really it. Addendum to contract. This is the FHA exhibit. So this basically has the terms of the FHA. And again, you're just really checking for signatures and initials. This is the seller's disclosure. So if you get all of this up front, then you already got the seller disclosure that was in that special stipulations that said it was due 24 hours later. That's what this is. So you can check that off as done up front. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is the lead-based. This is their lead-based paint exhibit.
Disclosure.
Yeah, this is the lead-based paint. So yeah, you still need the seller disclosure in this case. So that's in a nutshell. And again, I don't work with Florida a lot, but just so you understand like what you would be looking for with any state.
Okay.
Any state, that's how you're going to kind of think when you're going through a contract. Does anybody have any questions about that?
No.
Okay. I'm glad I was able to find one.
Thank you.
Hopefully that was helpful and like to kind of calm your nerves a little bit about being concerned. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm available inside of the group.
Yes.
So, what I like to say.
I can send you a message through the Facebook group or Messenger.
I prefer in a group so that it can help others too.
Okay.
And also, I tend to see those things quicker than I would Messenger.
Okay.
So, all right, ladies. Well, thank you for your
you
time
so
tonight. I hope you got something out of it. Start thinking about, as you think about things that you want to talk about, like if you started looking up the hashtags and you just don't get it, I'm willing to help.
Okay.
Just let me know, and it may get chosen to be one of the content items that we discuss on one of the next meetings.
Okay.
All right. Have a great month. Let's kill it.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
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 Re-
Okay. Did it save? I don't even know.